So now we get to the wedding feast, chapter 22. And again Yeshua spoke to them in parables, saying, the kingdom of heaven may be compared to a king who gave a wedding feast for his son, and sent his servants to call those who were invited to the wedding feast, but they would not come. Again he sent other servants, saying, tell those who are invited, see, I have prepared my dinner. My oxen and my fat calves have been slaughtered, and everything is ready. Come to the wedding feast. In that time, with the lack of refrigeration, you stored your meat on the hoof. When you were ready to throw a meal, you got RSVPs from all of your invited guests. And based on the number of people who respond, you decide then how much meat you're going to slaughter. So if it's just you and a couple of friends, you slaughter a chicken. If it's a group this size, you may slaughter a lamb or a goat. So you slaughter meat according to the number of people who have agreed to come, which means that since you have gone to the expense of taking your meat out of the refrigerator, taking it off the hoof and turned it into meat, the people who have agreed to come are obligated to come because you have slaughtered based on their promise that they would be there. This king is slaughtering cattle and fatted calves, so this is a big deal. Verse 4. Again he sent other servants, saying, tell those who are invited, see, I have prepared my dinner. My oxen and my fat calves have been slaughtered. Everything is ready. Come to the wedding feast. But they paid no attention and went off, one to his farm, another to his business, while the rest seized his servants, treated them shamefully, and killed them. So this is obviously, again, we're talking about prophets, the servants. Verse 7. The king was angry, and he sent his troops and destroyed those murderers and burned their city. Can we talk bowls of wrath? Verse 8. Then he said to his servants, the wedding feast is ready, but those invited were not worthy. Go therefore to the main roads and invite to the wedding feast as many as you find. And those servants went out into the roads and gathered all whom they found, both bad and good, so the wedding hall was filled with guests. Notice, both bad and good. They went out and they scooped up everybody. Verse 11. But when the king came in to look at the guests, he saw there a man who had no wedding garment. And he said to him, friend, how did you get in here without a wedding garment? And he was speechless. Then the king said to the attendants, bind him hand and foot, cast him into the outer darkness. In that place there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth, for many are called, but few are chosen. All right, so what's going on here? We're talking about the resurrection. Everybody, both good and bad, is resurrected. Everybody dies, ready or not. Everybody's going to be resurrected, ready or not. And some of them are going to be there without wedding garb. And my question is, what is the wedding garb, and how do you get it? I think it's the blood of Yeshua. Now, he'll change that for a white robe, I am told, but you understand, everybody has been scooped up, good and bad. I will suggest that means that everybody dies, good and bad, whether you're ready or not. Everybody will be raised from the dead, good and bad. As I understand it, there are two resurrections. There's a resurrection of those who die in Messiah. On them, the second death has no power. There is a second resurrection for everybody else. That group who was resurrected in the second resurrection then goes and is judged. And books are opened and they are judged according to their actions. In my understanding, there is no point in doing a judgment if the verdict is predetermined. The whole purpose of a judgment is to render a verdict. So you have all of these people standing before the throne who have not died in Messiah, and they are being judged. Now, if the verdict for everybody who didn't die in Messiah is death, then why are we going through a judgment? That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know what's going to happen, but the thing that seems reasonable to me is you're going to be able to look at God, Yeshua. He's going to say, all right, are you with me or against me? And then based on that choice, we'll go one way or the other. To sort of recap, this whole thing has been about fruit, food, fruitfulness, so forth. Notice that all of these have been couched in terms of fruit and food. it starts off with Israel, the fig tree. And God says, you're not producing fruit. And then it goes down to authority, and then from authority it goes down to the sons who go into the vineyard, and some are obedient or some are not. And again, this is a division between those who follow God with their lips, but not with their feet. Then you have the parable of the tenants, where I am asserting we're talking about the ones who were given stewardship over the earth, which is, I think, the principalities and powers in heaven, who then corrupted us. And then finally you have the wedding feast, which is, I think, the resurrection. So what I think we have there, if you will, is the entire scheme of eschatology, the entire scheme of the end times, starting with the crucifixion.